Good morning, everyone. My name is Jack Pinto. I have not had the pleasure of meeting some of you on the International Board or even at the staff, but I want to come to you today to talk to you about the international convention that was held recently in Orlando, some of the events that occurred that affected the Brothers in Harmony, and the reaction of both the Brothers in Harmony and myself, and quite frankly, the non-reaction from anyone on the International Board after the event, as well as anyone on the staff. I will tell you that I've taken some time to consider what I'm going to tell you today. I mean, I'm not going to be yelling at anybody, but I will tell you how gravely disappointed I am in the leadership of an organization that I've been a member of for 39 years and have served as a director for the last 31 years, and presently in my 21st year with the Brothers in Harmony. As you know, the Brothers in Harmony have been international top 10 chorus 3 times, been international 10 times, including a mic tester stint in 2004. We've been around for 21 years. I've been their director that entire time. We have grown, gone the ebbs and flows of membership as a lot of courses have gone through in the last 20 years. This past year, I chose a package of music that was based on the Holocaust, due in part to not doing the same old 2-song type of packages, ballad up tune. And I chose a subject matter of the Holocaust because I have a fair number of Jewish members. I felt like the Jewish members in our chorus always get a short end of the stick when it comes to holiday music. They get the token Hanukkah song. Yep, they continually sing songs about Jesus because you just can't sing Jingle Bells all the time, or songs about Christmas. So we went through with the package. We took quite a bit of heat on Facebook about it, mostly from the millennial generation, some others, but mostly from the millennial generation, which happens to be the generation that it seems that the society is most appealing to get younger, which I understand from one aspect of it, but accountability is another thing. Back in November, I heard a rumor, and I wasn't confirmed until I think June, that someone made a picture of me in a Nazi outfit. And that picture that was shown on Facebook on a private page, I heard about it, but no one ever showed it to me. I didn't find out until June when I actually saw it. And it was in response to these people saying that we were going to do a Holocaust package, that we were going to open up the package with a German soldier shooting a Jew in the head, which never was considered, never came up, and it was just people talking for the sake of talking. At that point, I pushed back about it. I think that a lot of the comments that were flowing on Facebook got back to the society staff because over the holiday time frame, while I was in Russia, my wife, we had another child, my president, Larry Melton, called me in Russia to tell me that Marty had contacted him and wanted to speak to him about and how we were handling this, how the chorus was doing. Honestly, at that time, I basically said to my president, Larry, to basically not engage in the conversation with Marty because I felt like he was fishing for information, and that why would he want to know what we're doing? So we left it at that. Then, in May, we heard back from Marty, and we had a back and forth conversation, started on a phone conversation after I was having a meeting with Larry, as I tend to do in a breakfast meeting. He wanted to, asked us to send him what we were doing, send a video, send him anything we had so that they could view it and get their arms wrapped around it for the PR and the marketing, whether they could help us and whatnot. I'll be honest with you, and Marty knows this, I didn't believe any of that. I thought that they were trying to censor what we were doing. A lot of guys in my course still feel that way, that we are trying to be censored because it's never been heard of before, someone having to show their package to society. Now, Granted, no one's ever done a Holocaust package too. But at the same time, I didn't like it, and I was not going to send a video. And after going back and forth and saying that I would not send a video, and I was not happy about this, I finally agreed that I invited Marty to come to our rehearsal to view it himself. He felt that he wanted his team, the marketing people, show people to see it, and still was asking for me to bring a video and to leave information, which I told him simply 2 weeks before. I said I would not bring a video or leave any materials with them, and if that was the case, then I would not come. Now, we did that. We offered that. He didn't want to come to our rehearsal because he wanted the staff to hear it. We also paid for it on our dime. For me to fly down. I did it up and back in one day. And I brought our music vice president, Tom Beffy, came down with me. He did it on his own dime. Stayed overnight and flew down on his own. I had a great meeting with the staff, described the package, and I felt like it went pretty well. There was back and forth about some things, maybe even some minor disagreements about it. But after the meeting, Marty, myself, and Tom sent a little YouTube clip like we're doing here, and we sent that to my chorus so they could see about the meeting we had. I have to tell you, my guys know me well enough. They felt like I was showing great constraint, and they didn't believe all my happiness because they know that how I am and that I wasn't pleased to go, but I did it because in my exact words were I was playing nice with the society because I've been a member a long time and wanted to help any way I could. Fast forward now to the week before contest, I had an Auschwitz survivor come to my chorus, courtesy of the Holocaust Awareness Museum and Education Center in Philadelphia. He, along with their president of the organization, came along with another gentleman, and they praised our performance, said it was a message that needed to be said, and he said if anybody thinks that that should not be said or performed, then they need to sit down, be quiet, and maybe they'll learn something. Now, post the contest, I've heard people still complain about it. Granted, we didn't have our best singing hit on it. We had some issues due to the bouncing back of the echo, but everyone had to deal with that. So it had some synchronization issues. We still scored over an 82 on the package, which is fine. And quite frankly, the placement or the score was not as important as doing the package. But here's where the problem is. The week of the contest, before we performed, I was walking in the convention center, and one of my own members said to me, "Did you hear about the new picture?" And a picture was put out on the same Facebook page by a friend of the guy who did the first one. And it was a picture of me that was cropped from my son's christening. So someone onto my Facebook page took that picture from my son's christening, put it on a picture of a person holding a gun to my head, and it said, "America," standing for America, "America, do not show up to internationals tomorrow." That picture I shared with gentleman in our course, Joe Berger, who's a member of the Brothers for many years. You all know him. And he said that it needs to get to the next level, whether it be the society, the international president, Skip Kropp, Marty, someone needs to know about it, and the police need to be called. Well, eventually the police were called. I was in my condo with my wife and my 2 young children when one of my members of my course, who's on the convention staff, Daniel Endy, asked me where I was, and I told him I'm at the condo. He said to me that they're there with the police, and I have it in writing. It says they are treating this as a death threat. Now, they're treating this as a death threat. So I'm like, great. I showed it to my wife. That's fantastic. I said, well, I'm directing in the contest. I'm not going to stop. So as this goes on, we did the competition package, and I honestly, at this moment, I think it was before we sang, because it was before rehearsal. I met with the Orange County Convention Center wing of the Sheriff's Department and met with an officer who told me that the FBI had been contacted, ICE had been contacted. The 2 people were from Australia. One of them, both their names, Cam DeRue, if I'm saying it right, Matthew Stringer. Matthew has already been terminated as a member because I spoke with Dan Milgate, the president of the Australian organization, and he apologized to me, Dan Milgate did, And the sheriff's officer, when I had the meeting, and Joe Berger was present with me, simply because he was standing standing nearby, and I asked him to sit with me. The comment was made to me that they were considering, and I'm going to get this right, that they're going to lock down the convention if they found that this guy was at the convention. And they also said that they were going to hand out pictures, and this was a very serious matter. They take matters like this very seriously. Turns out that he's not in Australia. I'm sorry, he's not in the United States. He was still in Australia, had not been in since 2011. So from that aspect, and we were okay. Dan Milgate said, well, in Australia, we don't have guns. We don't believe in guns. And I said, well, look, the guy could fly in, could get someone a gun. I don't know what his intent was. It was also told to me that the guy has Asperger's, but he certainly had the capability to make a picture on Facebook and make that comment. I was not happy about this. And in addition to all this, after my meeting in Nashville, I even did a thing on Flow Voice, which I took a beating for on Facebook, at the request of of Holly in marketing and of Marty, and everyone seemed to think it was a good idea. I'm not sure it was a good idea, but I did it, and to play nicely, and I'm not sure if it did me any good in the long run. I have a police report about all this that I received after they gave me the case number. While I was still on vacation, I got the police report from the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I actually think that there are some people who believe, and it wouldn't surprise me if even people that were involved, what did they expect? What did the Brothers in Army expect if they're going to do such a package that would bring up such emotion? Well, I don't expect to have a death threat. I don't expect to be raked over the coals the way I was. I do expect people to disagree, but I forgot how immature the millennial generation can be. And so I'm not expecting to get a death threat where my wife feels uncomfortable not going to the convention center with my children because of this. That irritates me. Our Auschwitz survivor is coming to our show. We're doing this package again September 22nd. He's coming to the show and make an appearance on stage. In addition to that, I have been invited as a guest to their annual dinner where they were going to play our package and in some ways honor us, which I don't think is the right word that I would use, but that's what the term I was given when I was invited on the phone and a subsequent email in November. Now, I also want to bring up that one of our members, Stephen Leventhal, his father and Steve as well were friends with Shimon Peres, who was the former president of Israel. Their son has been to our shows before, and Steve sent this package over to him. And his response was, "This is fantastic. I encourage you to send it to the Israeli ministry to show them what we are doing." I am very disappointed now. This is the part why I'm writing this or doing this message. I'm very disappointed that after all of this, after all the cooperation I have showed, not one word, no one from the international staff, and I know Dusty is listed on the police report because he met with the police. No one on the international staff, no one in the meeting. We had Marty and his assistant, Holly, an assistant, Donnie Rose, his wife Amy, and there were multiple people in that meeting that said, that were in there, wanted to hear what we had to say, gave us questions. Not one person had come up to us. Not one email was been sent. Nothing from the International Board. Nothing from Skip Kropp as the international president, knowing what went on. Nothing that says, "I'm sorry that this happened. Is the course doing right?" You wanted to know if we were okay when the information was going out on Facebook and how it would hurt you, but you didn't ask how all this we were doing after a death threat. When is the last time anyone had a death threat at a barbershop convention? When has that ever happened? I'm guessing never. But this is the new norm. Now, what's going to happen is, my pessimistic side is, well, geez, if the Israeli Foreign Ministry wants to praise us and get in publicity, is the society now going to capitalize on that? Because, oh, look what they've done. If my chorus sang to the same vocal quality, let's say of our brother chorus, the Parkside Harmony Chorus, and we were to come in second or third with that package, would we be praising it? Would we be putting it up on YouTube? Would be saying what a wonderful experience this is? What a great thing we're doing. And on top of that, a real kick in the face is recently at your Harmony University, at our Harmony University, you had Deke Sharon as your guest speaker. Well, Deke Sharon, under a pseudonym that he uses online, tells people that this package, prior to going to international, could set back the society many years and hurt the society if mainstream media gets a hold of it. I sent Deke a private message to which, he had no response to it because he won't have a response to it. He's an egomaniac, but you embrace him because you think he's going to be help the society some way. You give him a platform to speak at Harmony University, but he goes out there saying it's going to hurt the society. And what do I get? Nothing. Silence from everybody. Well, let me tell you, I'm not happy. Now, what do I have to do about it? I can say this is the first step. I'm telling all of you that serve on the international staff and all of you that serve on the international board. I'm not going to go public on Facebook. I'm not going to sit there and trash my society. I've been defending this very thing that you have gone out and we put on the harm. I've been defending this. I've had members in my course speak very bluntly, one-on-one with me, with language I cannot repeat, about how they feel about this. I'm defending this policy. We're not going to change. We're not going to have women in our course, but I understand. I understand we got to get with the times. I've been around the world to many other different conventions, singing, directing as a guest quartet, to Ireland, in Holland, in Spain. I've been in Russia, been in England, been to all of those conventions. And I'm supporting it. And in a time where I receive a death threat, I don't care how credible, what you think it is, the bottom line is it was treated as a death threat. The police officer told me to my face. I hear nothing from the society. I don't want an email. I don't want a phone call. I want you, get me a ticket. You pay for the ticket this time. You fly me down to Nashville and you apologize to my face. You make a video and you apologize to my chapter. This is not good, gentlemen. We deserve more than this. We have been a supporter of our society. We've been a supporter of everything to be a good chapter. And this is a slap in the face, not only to my chapter, but to me. Understand something. You can't offend me. You can't make me sad. You can't depress me. You certainly can irritate me, and you have. I expect better from my leadership. Over 39 years, I have supported this Barbershop Harmony Society. I'm retiring in 2 years from directing, and I'll be moving overseas to raise my family. I expect better from my society. I'm very disappointed. I'll await your response.